Well, look, this provision doesn't apply to him. Keep in mind, an earlier draft of this, when they were considering it, had the vice president and the president there, and they took it out. And he's not an officer. He appoints officers. He can't appoint himself. He takes a different oath than the officers. So no, I don't think this is worrisome, except to the extent that what that article does is just show how far the left has gone, because now they're already setting it up to demonize the Supreme Court if they don't go along with their rationale, which is to apply this insurrection clause and emasculate the 14th Amendment's protections that also apply to the president.
And Jesse, let's talk about Trump's plans if he wins the White House again. He made some interesting remarks about RNC chairwoman Ronna McDaniel over the weekend, saying, quote, "I think she did great when she ran Michigan for me. I think she did okay initially in the RNC. I would say right now there will probably be some changes made." McDaniel has been on the hot seat ever since a disappointing showing in the 2022 midterms. Your thoughts, sir, on how she's been handling everything?
Well, I think that, there is not the results that a lot of people would have liked to see in recent years. The one thing that we do know is that President Trump has had a great history of getting people out to the polls and getting voters to actually show up when his name is on the ballot. And so I think right now the most important thing is Donald Trump truly is the leader of this party more than anything else. He is going to get people to the polls in November. And then, once he's reelected, I think we probably need to take a look at new leadership in the Republican Party. I think, very likely that could be a very good thing to do. And we could have some good, strong leadership. I think there's some great people in there that can lead the party into the next generation of the Make America Great Again movement.
Tom, we're seeing a lot of political lawfare, political persecution of President Trump, and the very same people that are trying to put him behind bars or kick him off the ballot, they're in trouble themselves, right? You got Fani Willis. She's now under federal investigation for misuse of funds. She's allegedly, well, she's not allegedly anymore. She actually admitted to having a relationship with her special prosecutor. Cori Bush possibly misused funds, over $100,000. So what do you make of this hypocrisy regarding the Democrats and then anybody that supports Trump or is obviously President Trump?
Yeah, what you're seeing, look, 60% plus in the polls say this is politically motivated. And then when you add in that these people themselves have these issues, it just convinces people more and more that Washington and the people who support these kind of things in Washington are really just the problem, and that they really do need to be removed. I want to say one thing. The Democrats want this so much, not only for Trump, but if they removed him from the top of the ballot in states, that would be devastating to Republicans down ticket, because without a strong person at the top of the ticket, you tend to get less votes at the bottom of the ticket, and it would gut the party in those states.
And Jesse Binnall, we have about a minute or so left. There was a new NBC News poll that came out, and that said even if Trump was convicted, he's basically still would be tied with Joe Biden. And Joe Biden is underwater versus Trump in several categories. It is not looking good for Joe Biden. Do you see that they could possibly ramp up these attacks against President Trump now that he is really leading Joe Biden in the polls?
Yeah, that's a great point. And really, I think what it comes down to is the left knows that these lawfare attacks, as Tom has, I think, very accurately pointed out, they just aren't working. The American people see them for what they are. But it's the best strategy that the left can come up with right now, because Joe Biden has been such a disaster as president. And so at the end of the day, the American people don't care about this offense from the left in the courtroom. What they care about is, what's going on at the southern border, the invasion that we're seeing down there. They care what's going on about our economy and our sovereignty. And that is what's going to, I think, at the end of the day, get people out to the polls, and why everyone is so excited to vote for Donald Trump in November.